what tax is. Oh dear. Yeah, so this is we're up to the last episode. Last episode so far.
And everybody just joining for Destiny 2. Surprise, it's Kentucky Route Zero.
We gotcha. It may not be because it's not loading.
No.
That's actually the last episode is just, we got it. No, I really didn't do the affiliate program because there was a form that wanted information that felt scary. Yeah. You guys dropped those bits on us or whatever.
Make it rain. Hey, I can, I wonder if I can do, maybe they would at least let me subscribe to my own thing here, because I haven't used my Twitch Prime subscription yet.
We can't subscribe because we're not set up to be able to make money.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's on Twitch Prime? Anything good? Looks like that's done with, I think.
Yeah, that's over. That ended on Amazon Prime Day, the greatest holiday in the world.
I feel like we've really lost the spirit of Twitch Prime Day.
This war on Prime Day.
It's all just a friggin'
ever since
racket by the green card companies anyway.
Starbucks changed their cups from red to... Okay. Act 4. So this is the part of the show where we rack our brains to remember what happened on Act 3. We did find out that the dude like has a drinking problem. Okay, Act 4.
I mean, it's not funny.
It's not funny. It's super sad. I also just realized I forgot to export Act 4, or Act 3. So hopefully I'll do that later.
Well, I'm going to just say, if all it takes to get a blinking skeleton leg is to have a drinking problem, point me in the direction of the alcohol.
Hold on.
Oh, man, what is going on already?
That sound... Can I not... change audios. Okay. What? Hold on. What do we think artisanal audio effects?
Ooh, it's probably echoes. That's how indie bands work. They just do a little bit of echo effect.
Okay. All right. That's right. We were waiting on a ferry at the Bureau of something. Yeah, that was really loud. I'm really sorry. It still sounds really loud to me.
Sounds normal to me.
Okay.
I mean, you're a loud person, but...
And we were waiting on this ferry. The ferry came, and it has a woolly mammoth on it. So, here we are. Manual 5.4 context backlight. I forgot I have to read all this. It's just what works. General wear on the gestural gear mounting apparatus 5A-1 may result in undesirable play between teeth and the context and history state machine gears, causing stuttering, slippage, resetting, skipping. Guess it could be a slippage. If left unresolved, gear slop can gradually throw limbs out of alignment, blend motions, and decontextualize gestures. See also sections 1.8, general troubleshooting, and 5.3, gesture context. Troubleshooting. 1.8, general troubleshooting. Technicians of sufficient talent and experience may skip this section. General troubleshooting techniques include leaving it alone, then returning later until the hue becomes apparent, pretending not to notice the problem, or hammering with something plastic.
Robo-mammoths are always so much maintenance, it's just almost not worth it.
So 100%, that'll do book, he throws the manual into the river. That was the best animation in the game. Rewind it, please. My savior, our friend here, is in a bad way. Any insight? I try to stay clear of high voltage these days. I don't at all blame you, especially down here on the water. I mean, sure, it's dangerous, but this is where she lives. what brings you down to the Echo tonight? Just tagging along. Ha! That doesn't sound like you. What does that mean? Oh, I just mean that you and your Johnny have always been complete since I first met the pair of you, freestanding like a lighthouse. I'm sure your friends appreciate the company. It's no shame to be lonesome. We picked you up in the bureau tonight. Never seen you that far upriver before. Hope that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the Zero. Yeah, have you been there? The Zero? Oh, no, no. This old river rat steers clear of weird highways. Hey, that's good advice. I've been traveling this river for more than half my life, more or less, alone. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years. But I can't say for sure. The water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place. So straight up, I have no idea what these people are talking about.
I wish there was at least a little, I mean, like just some continuity, just a little bit.
Like, I guess this ferry driver knows this robot lady? But it's full of strange new people, and some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar street. Wonder which kind of night this is. Act 4, Scene 1. The Mucky Mammoth. Alright, that's pretty cool looking, too. I don't know who Kate or Will are. I'm gonna be honest. I guess we'll go talk to Kate. They have a dog, too. But Kate, how's the cold river spray treating you? I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know, hard on the eyes. It still irritates mine all the time. I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People will just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea. So, Agricybe? Agarita? Definite. Peppermint, dried spring agaricus, milk thistle, and dried reishi. Yeah, this is the right question. How far are we from Dogwood Drive, you creep? The Echo is dicey tonight. Bad luck for you. Expect waves and diversions. Dogwood Drive is by the Silo mail stop. But we may need to spend some time on the indirect route before we hit your stop, okay? No, not okay. Don't do that. And there's other business, mail to drop off, garbage to pick up, and a few favors to execute, all dotted on the riverbanks from here to there. I hope you enjoy the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities. Fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. Oh no, not a TV. There's some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual, I mean, weird. Watch out, that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. What's wrong with the VCR? I could take a look. Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. Hey, do me a favor. Go ask Will how the repairs are going, and if he needs anything. We're coming up on the next stop here, just refueling and picking up a few things. I could grab a bolt or some wire or something, whatever he needs. Well, eyes on the road, ha 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 ha. Who's driving if she's just like... I don't think that's how boats work. You don't just like...
I don't know. I think boats sail themselves.
No, I expressly think boats do not sail themselves.
that that mammoth is on the back of that boat, though.
I mean, that dude has some neon green orange, like, swim shorts. Will singing quietly, for we on mold and whiskey fed. To Shannon, oh, I didn't see you there. Wet years. Did you build this thing? Huh? No. This thing's probably older than I am. Got some gray in her pelt there. Calcium deposits, I guess. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's friend, you know how it is, don't you? I don't. Kate wants to know if you need anything. Hell, I don't know. Scratch ticket? That's pretty smart. I think she meant like parts, or I wouldn't know if I did. What's your story, Will? I like to listen to them. I like to tell them, but I don't have one of my own. I also don't have a permanent address, or a pickup truck, or any change of clothes. I wash my laundry in the river, and in that moment, I'm truly free. Nobody wants to see your woolly mammoth, Will. I don't even have any shoes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm classically trained organist? I mean, I guess that's the word. It's just kind of weird. Organist? Organist? It's true.
Organist, yeah.
Look at these long fingers and pedal gripping toes. Doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me a petition teaching Atoile de Zola. Well, some rated him for mature. Shitty governor cut state funding for our department, and I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring through walls, or in dangerous places. I even operated the soundboard in the student theater. Left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest. Walk without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore, and soon I was drifting along the echo. It ran for a while above ground, then it doesn't anymore, but I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along, and I record what I see and hear. I try to help with maintenance. I drop off the mail and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the film. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. As I listen to the river stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Dude, this dude's depressing. Well, I just keep drying gears, I guess. Wow. Ezra runs up to Shannon. Whoa, slow down, it's slippery on deck. Do you have batteries? Yeah, of course. Okay. Johnny said I could use a tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Oh, fine. Well, reaches in her pockets. Here's 4 different kinds. Surely one of these fits. Thank you. It's kind of weird, Shannon. It's kind of weird. Oh, I'm the kid now. Alright, that was pretty good. Wait, this dude is... Excuse me? Is this the old guy? He's missing a hand now. Where's the dog? Can I go up there? No. Musicians. To Junebug. Really? You were entranced. You don't remember this? Clara, it's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts. Yeah, the visuals of going inside, like right now in the boat. This is sweet, dude. With like the frame of the hull outline. That's really good. Cyrano opened. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic. Right, at the flower shop. I remember that show. Sorry, Clara. Clara, well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight. That was fast. Got the batteries? Let's see. Perfect, this one will do. So you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. You'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen for the better, I mean. To Claire, are you playing a concert tonight? Yeah, Claire came all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig, all right? It's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville, and then Atlanta, and then over to the coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once, and I remember loving it, and Johnny was moved. I'm just realizing these are both robots.
Whoa.
Like, I knew Junebug was, because she's talked about it and made noises when she walks.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, this dude is straight up gray metal robot guy.
Very fashionable, though.
It is, yeah. This is Detroit Becoming Human, the prequel. Speaking of Cyrano, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate said she usually stops off there. Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. 3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. It's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. Hey, why don't you give that tape recorder a try? See if that cat over there has anything he wants to say. I do not see a cat. I often use found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds tonight, you can help me out. Oh, I see the cat now. Dude. The dude has now lost his arm. Is that it? Oh, that was so good. No, this like swaying nonsense is like straight up awesome. Okay, Conway. Conway, you know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Neither can I. Haha. Damn noisy river. It's just that thing about, what was it? When you walk through a door, you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room into another, you forget what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember, like you left part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. You were driving for hours. Get any sleep? Wait. You were driving for hours. Like, I guess get any sleep now that you're not driving? You found a beer. There's a cooler full down there. They say it just floated by, if you believe that. Got caught on some netting and they hauled it aboard. A bounty. Anyway, there's a sign by the cooler. Take what you need and leave the rest. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. It does look cold, doesn't it? Yeah, better keep that kid away from the edge. A person could easily fall in. He's been exploring. Oh, that's not what I meant to click, but he seems to keep himself entertained. It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up, huh? Looks like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. I thought you didn't drink. Well, I didn't. I mean, I did, and then I didn't, and then I did again. A That's how it always goes. I drift out, finally wind up back at the sets with my head between my legs, saying never again. 15 months this last time. I think I hung on because I knew there wouldn't for much longer be anywhere to go back to. She went to live with her sister now, and she probably won't remember me long. One time she picked me up out of a ditch by the road, blackout drunk at dawn. She came around later that night. She'd taken care of me. I told her I didn't deserve it. She said I didn't have to deserve it. She sounds like a saint. We should all have someone like that. Oh, you wouldn't say that if you knew her when she was younger. That girl was wild. Ha ha. I guess she's got her own problems now. I wish I could help out. Hey, maybe I could make some money and send it to her sister. There's a lot of reading.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe they'll keep me at the distillery. I mean, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I've got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden. Yep. Oh, it's like the road but a boat. Sure, I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kate told me that I ought to have been a photographer. She said, you have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there, and that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway. The, music style changed.
I like the wavy lines.
I know, right? Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river, most of them I've picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening, see? Now I know what you're going to ask, so I'm going to answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. True. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain, and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. I'm not sure that's how facts work, but okay.
Yeah, that's what they say. Don't let facts get in the way of a good preconceived narrative.
Right. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or, anyway, I talked to a few sailors who'd recently crossed paths with him, and I suspect sampled his wares.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. One night, when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mail drop by the Silo of Late Reflections. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians whom I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time. A young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. This is past tense? I don't understand.
Yeah.
We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. Ezra followed Junebug and Johnny into the gas station. Of course he did. He's recording things. We cut it close. I usually find this place upriver. Wait, what?
That doesn't make sense.
Everybody's on the lake tonight. Is this a lake? I thought it was a river. The gas station
Why would
moves
you
around.
find a place up a river sometimes?
Sure, it's not anchored or anything. Could be anywhere, up and down the Echo. You just kind of run into it when you need it, and hopefully a little before you need it. I usually stop here once a night. Though, to be honest, I'm not sure it's even the same one. It doesn't have a name or anything, and I never really pay attention to who's behind the counter. Anyway, it's nice to see you two, and most of my regular passengers must have gotten held up elsewhere in their journey tonight. It's that storm, I think. Watching Ezra sprint past. Look at him go. That kid has a lot of energy. It's got to be past his bedtime or something, right? I don't think he has a bedtime. He's a maverick. Sounds familiar. Ha ha ha. You don't have any of your own? I mean, no, I guess not. I just realized you two come through here so often. We chat about all kinds of stuff, but I never thought to ask about family. They're robots. We're all the family we need. That's sweet. So how about that storm upstairs? Did you two get caught in it? I heard it kind of roamed around uncertain. I'm sure we'll hear all about it tomorrow. Flooding, property damage, probably killed a few tomatoes. It's got the river churning and everyone headed to the lake here, where the water's calmer. I myself don't mind navigating a choppy river, not at all. I've got a good feel for it. Plus, it's better for fungal growth. High water consumes the cave moths, and their wet wings clump together into these little balls of nutrient-dense mushroom food, jammed by current here and there between the rocks. You have never seen a mushroom grow like on a soggy cave moth carcass. Okay, I guess I haven't. Amazing. If I could get a day off, Val and I would be out there all day tomorrow to harvest. I mean it. They'll be ready by tomorrow. A mushroom will grow just as fast as you can pump water into it. Very confused. Hey, are you two headed out this way tomorrow? Maybe I could send Val ashore with you for a few hours. She's got a remarkable nose for mushrooms. She wouldn't even need to know what to look for. Put a bag around her neck and she'll just bring them back to you. Johnny, yeah! We don't know where we'll be tomorrow. I should have figured. Seems like you two are always on the move. It does seem that way. Silence. So, I should get back aboard. No rush. I just want to brew some tea before we get underway. Headed into the station. Thought I'd grab some black coffee for the old man. He's looking a bit waterlogged. Also, his arm disappeared. Sure, don't want him falling asleep on you. Nah, he'll be alright. He seems like the type who can hold his liquor. Seems like he has a little experience, I mean. Hey, while you're in there, could you remind the gas station attendant this fuel is on my tab? Charged to the Monkey Mammoth. Oh, and Will wanted a scratch ticket. Thanks. I think I'll just watch the lake for a bit, ma'am. Looking for crystals. Snacks. Sure, we have snacks. We have... How about some jerky? Oh, I love jerky, but I don't know about this homemade nonsense. You work on the Mammoth? I could add it to your tab. Oh, you know the tugboat that Captain Kate said I'd have to remind you. Lieutenant, sure. They're here every night. It's okay. I have one of those faces. Forgettable. I wouldn't say that. It's okay. I've learned to accept it. In fact, dude, there's another boat. Let's see where it goes. In fact, I've learned to cherish it. There's dignity in being forgotten, letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled. I used to live in a city. I mean a real city. Cleveland, Ohio. I had some family money then. I didn't have to work. I lived in hotels. In daylight, I walked wherever the people were. My only duty was to the crowd. I was its observer, its historian, its detective, its poet. There's another boat. This dude's boat is a table. Upside down. Straight up, he has a table with a motor on it. Well, the money ran out, and I dispersed with the rest of them. Took my duties with me here to Lake Lethe and the Echo River. I live behind this counter. Anonymous, invisible, but I live with dignity. Sure, something like that. Oh, and yourself. Sure, something like that. I like to keep moving. This is the dude from the sailboat. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I can't help it myself. I travel at the pleasure of the current. The snacks are in the back there. Chocolates, licorices, cheese, crackers, dehydrated, bleached, reconstituted, and colorized. That attendant is a trip. Anonymous, invisible, but I live with the dignity, he said. The bag on the bottom shelf is decorated with cartoonish pictures of vegetables. Through a plastic window in the packaging, she can see puffed corn shaped and colored like carrots, tomatoes, and broccoli florets, and a few puffy white discs that might represent potatoes. What a depressing outlook. Somewhere in there is surely a preservative in case the rest of the process hasn't done enough to stop the flow of time. She turns the package over to examine the ingredients. Does Johnny ever feel like that? She turns the bag over to look for the ingredients, but only finds a marketing blurb inspired by real vegetables. Norm. To attendant. Shit, that floodwater washed you halfway up out to sea. I was looking for you down by New Königsberg. Same as usual, but ain't nobody there. And the river's deep as an elephant's. Noticing Junebug. Oh, I didn't see you there, ma'am. Pardon my language. What elephant? Ha ha ha. Alright. You're no paper flower, I see that. Extending his hand warmly. I expect you must be Loretta. Enchanted to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Hey, is that coming on too flowery or something? Enchanted? Repeating it now. I feel a little silly. I'm not Loretta, but I think you'll do fine with Enchanted. Well, thanks for saying so. But now I'm double embarrassed. You picked a funny place to meet? You're probably right about that. I guess I thought it'd be like neutral territory. And we both live on the river. It's not very romantic though, is it? I met Loretta on the computer. We met each other there. Or I guess we spoke through the computer and agreed to meet. I don't know the terminology. I haven't dated in a while. Back when I met Greta, that's my wife. Excuse me, my ex, or maybe I am her ex? I don't know how to say it. This guy's a mess. Anyway, back then there wasn't even such a thing as computers at all. I guess there probably was, but I never heard of one. I worked in textiles, so here I am. I'm just struggling to, is there, an overall narrative forming here?
I don't know. I'm still waiting for... I keep hoping that we're going to get to an episode that'll sort of tie stuff in together.
So what's your plan with Loretta? Oh, maybe headed down to the rum colony. Shoot, I forgot to ask if she likes to drink. We really never know these days. I guess first I'd ask her about that. If she doesn't like rum, I'd maybe try to take her by the Bat Sanctuary. That's pretty romantic in a sense. Misty Valleys and ruined churches romantic. Not like flowers and chocolate's romantic. Of course, they've got that memorial there. That's a little depressing. Actually, maybe we'd kind of sail around that. Damn it all, I guess I probably missed her. I wonder if she'd agree to meet again. Maybe she was on the table. I'm sure she'll understand with the weather and all. Nice of you to say so. Well, I guess I'll head on back. Hey, supposing Loretta doesn't want to see me after all? My card is full. Oh, no, sorry, that's not what I meant. I meant your dog. Actually, I wanted to ask you for some advice. I had to type up a sort of autobiography for the computer date. And I spent a lot of time on it, but I only got one reply, and that was Loretta herself. I was happy to meet her, but supposing she's lost interest now, do you think you could maybe give me some feedback? It's only a paragraph or so. I have it all memorized. I spent so damn long writing it. Oh no. Here's how it goes. Oh no. Alright, here's his Cupid, or whatever, Tinder profile. I'm a good-natured man, retired, and spend most of my time sailing the Echo River, riding currents of subterranean gas and that strange invisible wind that moans out of the small tunnels along the bank. Seeking a companion to map the river with me. I have 2 grown children, but they live far away. No goofballs. Okay, what do you think? Thinking about the wind was a little weird. Yeah, you're probably right. I wanted to show my poetic side. I'll save that for the date. You'll be fine. Really renewed my confidence. I'm ready to get back on that computer. You have a good night now. What's left of it, anyway? Can I not get that lottery ticket? I'm very confused. Excuse me. I'd like to purchase a lottery ticket.
Robots can do math. They don't get lottery tickets.
Guess. What do you think of that other dog we've got on board, Val? Mushroom hunting, huh? Homer's a sleepy old hound dog. I know he isn't doing any mushroom hunting, that's for sure. I'd like to try my hand at mushroom hunting. I bet I'd be pretty good at it. So could you fit in the sidecar? I bet you would. We're good company. I bet you'd miss Kate even just for a day. That's how dogs work, man. No, I guess it's settled anyway. Nice to think about it, though. This place is so weird. If you take this dog, it ain't ever coming back. Bug. Sorry, Cricket, nothing good on offer. Not even those little gummy pomegranate seeds? I didn't look. It's okay, I'll go check. Wish me luck. Good luck. Okay, straight up, this is Loretta. Carry those little gummy pomegranate seeds. Lieutenant, I had 3 boxes at the beginning of this week, and they're all gone. Can keep them on the shelves. To be honest, our whole inventory is pretty low right now. There's a delivery boat that usually swings by earlier in the night, but I guess something came up. Where are you heading? Helping some new friends make a delivery, or along for a ride, anyway. Well, even if you're not doing the heavy lifting or navigating or whatever, passenger contributes to a journey too. I never travel, but I do love travelers. That's what I like about this job. The travelers come to me. meet some interesting people. I wouldn't say I meet them, but I do sell them gas. Well, let me know if I can help you find anything. Oh, it's Owl. Good old Owl. What? Glory, it is good to be among friends. Attendant, suit yourself. What are you so excited about? I can't help it. Every time I step onto that boat alone, I think this could be the very last time. And then every time I come ashore, back among people, I think, solemnly, Glory, it is good to be among friends. Helps keep things in perspective, I guess. It's a ritual of remembrance for me. Tonight, particularly so, it's my birthday. I am 5 years old. Do you know why I say that? Well, I'm going to tell you. 5 years and some days ago, I set out on the Echo River alone, or so I thought at the time. I was looking for an ice floe. They are occasionally rumored to travel our humble artery on their way from who knows where to who knows where. Who knows why? It's a mystery. An hour into the journey, my lantern gave out. Now, I always carry 3 or 4 spares. You'll never catch me in the dark again. Lesson learned, buddy. But that night when the lantern went out, I was stuck in the dark. I kept my arm extended, running my fingers along the cave wall, trying to keep my bearing as best I could, and at least make sure I wasn't going in circles. I just prayed I'd find another traveler who knew his way back to the lake or above ground, or even just a crack in the rock to get a glimpse of moonlight. Look, this is a companion story to Sunless Sea, but it's the American version, right? I had a large bag of apples with me. After a long while, maybe a day, I was getting weak, so I took my hand down from the rock to tear the bag open. Well, when I reached back out, I couldn't find the cave wall anymore, or any other. I was totally unmoored, buddy, totally adrift, and it was so dark. I started counting time, and apples eaten. I drifted in despair for 4 apples. Then I schemed and planned and dreamed for 2 apples. Finally, I came to accept my fate, lost at sea, and this phase, I think, would have continued indefinitely had I not come down to that very last damn apple. Picture me feeling around in the empty bag, certain that somehow there was another one of those fist-sized chunks of life-giving fruit, already softened by the time and probably an unappetizing brown. Nope, that was it. Just as I was about to bite into my last meal, I felt a tickle on my upper lip. It hatched right then. I couldn't have been a moment later, or I would have eaten it. My last apple was infested by a damn fruit fly maggot.
Gross.
This is super gross. Well, that should have been the end of it. I should have eaten that apple and that fly while I was at it, and put an end to our little food chain suicide pact. But I waited out of mercy. After all, this fly was basically a newborn child, right? A gross insect child, but still a child, right? Born into darkness and famine, hungry and alone. I mean, can you imagine that? No other flies out there on that boat. And never would be. No other flies to welcome him into the world. I mean, no fly culture, no fly society, no fly history. A true orphan. I started to get depressed just thinking about it all. Worked out a thick tear. I'm not ashamed to say. Well, that fly landed on my cheek, right under my left eye, right on that salty teardrop, and then, blinding glory, his ass lit up like a candle. That wasn't a fly, buddy. That was a damn lightning bug. So that's how I come here today with you folks, only because I found my way out of that strange river cave by the dim-lit rear of some orphan insect hatched out of my last rotten apple. Glory, it's good to be among friends. It's a good story. By good story, I mean that's a really bad story.
It meandered a bit.
Johnny, that guy's a trip. That gas station attendant. Did you talk to him? It's funny. He actually reminds me of that frog we had for a bit. thought it was a toad. Oh, is there a difference? Toads have warts. Huh, I never knew. Okay, so how does the gas station attendant remind you of a frog? Oh, I don't know. Because he liked to talk, I guess. Maybe we should pick up another one, a frog or a cat or an iguana or something. What do you want? Oh, no. What do you want a pet for? I was just thinking about the old man and his dog. You ever notice how he talks to his dog? His dog. Sort of like he's talking to himself. Yeah, exactly like that. But that's how I feel when I'm talking to you, ma'am. Like I'm talking to myself. And when you're talking to me, I feel like you're talking to yourself. That's kind of rude. I mean, not literally, but like, that's how we are who we are, you and me. Not exactly. Not like that guy in the gas station. That guy lets the world wash over him, static like a rock. But you and me both together, I mean, we're always moving, always changing. I think it's because we feel safe with each other, you know? Free. We can try stuff out, change our clothes, swap parts around, just play. I'm not lonely, just curious with another person to play with. What else could we be? Maybe you're right, Cricket. Really think so? Wow, I thought I'd have to wear you down a little like I did with the gerbils. Huh. Oh, that's Kate. Time to hit the road. River, I mean. Dude, straight up, I have no idea how this matters or what this is about. See that small brick building? Used to be an upholstery shop. Now it's inhabited by a very skilled taxidermist whose art is greatly in demand. When it was an upholstery shop, it didn't see nearly as much business. The old shop's name has been lost to time and weather. This was decades ago, and the only trace of it now is the grade frame and old sign behind the new lettering, which now reads Trapper, Stalker, and Sportsman. And then below smaller, no specimen is too exotic, no arrangement too fanciful. Some of the upholstery equipment is still there too, and still sees active use. Elise is the resident artist, though she's not the owner of the shop. It's owned by her Aunt Ida. Ida has very little to do with the day-to-day. She's busy with other endeavors, mostly the restaurant she and her husband run on Lake Lethe. Shannon retreated to the TV room and browsed the mammoth's video collection. Next. There's a bug! And the cat. And Homer. The shelves are full of dusty tape. Some have been relabeled several times, the stickers piling up thick on their spines. Birds. Blue-black morning swings across the screen. The birdwatcher tramps through the dewy grass and stops with a wet grunt and rests the camera on a pile of rocks. Birds from Great Distances, episode 12, appears briefly on the screen. He twists the lens by hand, pushing the frame past trees onto the road, and coming to a halt, zoomed in on a fuzzy, fist-sized artifact resting on the momentary stroke of a telephone wire. Shannon and the birdwatcher observe. He breathes heavily, and she holds her breath like she's afraid he might hear, afraid of distracting him or being discovered and contaminating his perfect isolation. Traffic picks up indifferent. In the skylight, the black smudge in the center of the frame gradually becomes more prominent, but never in any greater detail. Not bad. I think it's expressly bad. Go on out. I'm done with the tapes. I don't want any more tapes. Question mark. That awful hum, it seems to start before Shannon even hits play. Then there's the familiar room. There are the blank gray walls marked with tape and school desks, and this time she notices a few more details. The murky carpet like standing water. Some video equipment stashed in the corner, a row of lockers. And there's Weaver, looking serenely at the camera. As before, she starts speaking, and as before, there's no sound but that hum. Shannon finds Weaver's words coming back to her as they appear in captions on the screen. Mail, school, and these magnificent tragic horses. Go underground as deep as you can go. The air is cool and the earth is damp, and when you close your eyes, you are surrounded by the dead. Remember where that is? You'll find your way from there. I think this place is what you're looking for. Some of it will wash away soon, but I think you'll be happy here, even without the mail, school. The text repeats for a few minutes, and Shannon stops the tape. Yep, I would 100% nope my way out of there. Nope, we're just going to leave that one in. Kate and Will. Kate to Will. No, it was only a few notes, slow and sad, like funeral music, you know? I don't remember it being sad, just simple and unburdened. Maybe that's what funeral music sounds like to me. Unburdened. Oh, hello, Kate. And I were just trying to remember the Mammoth song, but neither of us have heard it for years. Will just found the mechanism. In the mammoth's belly, hidden in gritty, matted fur. Ha! It's like a big music box, a slowly spinning cylinder covered in metal pins that pluck her dulcet guts and pump the bellows in her bowels. It's kind of gross. Yeah, I mean, Chad is kind of talking. This game is very artistically pretty. I really like the sound. I just don't get the story. And, like, maybe I'm just being dense. I don't know. Maybe you're not supposed to get it. But some of the pins are rusted and worn away, easy to replace if you can remember what the notes were. Did I hear you browsing the archive next door? Find anything good? I found something pretty unsettling, actually. Oh dear, I don't even know what's on half of those tapes anymore. They used to all be movies and that kind of stuff. I like nature documentaries especially. Some people left home movies or little art videos they'd made, but that damn VCR devours anything you leave in it. It just switches into record mode at random, I think, and picks up whatever's coming in over the antenna. Of course, the only station we get down here is that WEVP, Community Television. We've got that show with the gentleman playing banjo in his birthday suit. I'm sure you've seen it. will. Oh, yes. And if there's no tape in the machine when it tries to start recording, it makes this awful sound, like putting a squeaky toy in a food processor. I can hear it above deck. Awful. That's why I put the sign up. Please do not rewind after watching. At least that way nothing gets taped over anymore. Where's this station, WEVP? I don't know. Well, I don't know. I guess I never thought of it. Must be nearby, right? It is community television. Yeah, there's got to be a debriefing on this game. Because Dashiell would know. I don't know who that is. Yes. You should meet Dashiell. He did a lot of volunteer work for WVP in the early days, wiring up antennas and relays, stuff like that. I think you two would have a lot to talk about. He works at the telephone exchange. No, I'm afraid he's been let go. Oh yeah, that's odd. He still takes the ferry to work every day. I'm sure he's at the telephone exchange right now, in fact. I dropped him there a few hours ago. We're stopping at the telephone exchange again shortly to deliver their mail and pick up their trash. You should go ashore when we do. Ask for Dashiell. I don't think I want to do that. I rarely miss a chance to lounge on the beach around the rum colony, and I do enjoy a drink, though I don't find their signature liquor suits me. But this time I elected to stay aboard and shoot the breeze with Kate over some mineral water. Still, I heard reports. I heard the old man went a little deeper in his cups. Not at all surprising. He seemed to have some momentum. And Patch mixes up some pretty magnetic drinks. Oh, if we're talking about the rum colony, I should tell you about Patch. He's the bartender, general manager, creative director. I guess that means he books the music. He's pretty much run the place for the last 7 years. A lot of folks assume he owns it, but that is not the case. Rum Colony is owned by a dead man named Vernon. Technically, it would be owned by the power company, who once bought a sizable interest from Vernon as part of a state-sponsored investment program. But a clause in that arrangement requires them to keep their hands off the day-to-day and most of the profits, so long as Vernon walks this earth. The upshot of all this is that nobody came forth to identify the money. Patch is a good guy, though, kind, trustworthy. He mixes a strong Mai Tai, if that's your thing. Valkyrie and Homer lounge below deck. I guess we stopped to do some business by telephone. I wonder if we're going to get the good ending. I guess we're going to be here for a minute. Looks like they have a few calls to make. What are you going to do? Yeah, that's a good question, huh? I just thought I'd stretch my legs, on firm ground. I didn't realize this place would be floating on barrels. Back when I was driving long hauls, that's the real big trucks now. I sometimes wouldn't leave the cab but to pump gas. I took my meals in there, I slept in there, I changed my socks in there, the whole thing. Pooped in a bucket in there. So one time I was hauling a bunch of big spools of telephone wire, I think, actually, up from California into Washington State. You know where that is? It's way out on a map. It's kind of to the left of there. More or less. In between California and Washington, there's a place called Oregon, and you can't pump your own gas there. They have a guy who does it called a gas jockey. And you'd better not Even open your door, they get all suspicious. I drove through California into Washington, and I refueled in the middle in Oregon. So I didn't set foot out of my truck for a whole day. When I came out of that cab, the ground rushed up like it missed me. Gave me a big old kiss right on the chin, right there. Oh, right here. What I'm saying is, hell, I forget. Haha, what am I talking about? Oh no. Even the characters are forgetting what this game's about. It's important to take breaks. Exactly, don't forget that. And don't say I never taught you anything. Well, I guess I'll head back aboard. Might see if we can find any of the good stuff stashed in the, maybe in the spice cabinet, maybe in the medicine cabinet. Haha, that's where it belongs. Hell, who am I talking to? Don't listen to me, kid. I'll see you in a few. That dude just jumped in the water and swam away. Okay, maybe that's the end of Conway.
You have 23 new messages.
Is that a bear? I'm pretty sure this guy has a bear in his house.
Oh, yeah.
I keep hearing noises whenever I go there. It's like bells ringing. But the bells aren't
This has
metal
voiceover.
bells, ceramic bells. They're kind of bells like normally you hear. They're like this weird. I can't even describe the material. It's just resonant. Just ringing resonant. And as soon as I open my eyes again, there's nothing.
Okay, that had voiceover. And what? I guess we'll listen to another one.
I remember driving across an old dirt road.
There's 23 of these?
My birthday at the party at McDonald's in Hawaii. I got a toy that I didn't like. I broke it. Getting caught next to the jungle gym. I was crying so happy. Mom picked up rallies at a parent to take me out. We missed it. Seriously? Whether I wear boots or sneakers, my feet always feel damp. Cold and damp.
Well, I was hoping that you'd be able to tell me why I can't sleep. It seems like it's been a long time, and it seems like it's been it just time to sleep now.
I remember going to a house in Aroostook County, Maine. I was 2. We were moving, and we were driving up in a white Nissan station wagon with faux wood paneling. And it was the first time that I'd seen the house that I was going to live in for the next 7 years.
Being washed in the bathroom sink.
I mean, I guess if anyone wanted nightmares for tonight, here you go. Just listen to the rest of these.
Just parking my car. I had to parallel park it the street that I live on was full, but there was but it just got cold today for like the first time in a long time. So I had the heat on. And whenever you have the heat on in an old car, it definitely smells a certain way. It smells kind of like, it almost smells, you can like smell that it's hot. And you can feel it too, but the smell that it is like from the car itself, like from the engine. And there's been a lot of smoking going on in that car, so it's not exactly a pleasant smell, but it's definitely strong and it's definitely there. And with the windows down, you can also smell that it's cold. So you get both. And that feeling together is super familiar if you've been in old cars a lot. Anyway, I was parking and I had to go in and out about it like 3 times, but when I finally finished parking, it was like perfect. Both wheels against the curb, and that's when I had like the double memory. When I first learned how to drive, my mom taught me how to parallel park. She told me the story about like, her dad, who was a motorcycle cop, taught her how to parallel park. And every time she parallel parked, she would take out a dime, and if she could fit a dime between the wheel of her car and the curb of the street, then she had to do it again. She didn't do that for me, but every time that I got upset about having to do it again, she would tell me that at least I didn't have to be a dime distance away from the curb. I learned how to drive in the fall, and I got that snow a lot during that time. And I don't know when my mom learned to drive.
Oh, probably going to school. I can't sleep because the trees are scraping against my window, and it reminds me of a tongue scraping against my skin. What? I'm about to cross an ocean. I worry about my dogs. Can't sleep anywhere near a place. The gas is sold. Not when it's being sold, but when it's not being sold. It was tough to hold on to this thing, but yeah, my hands are pretty damp. I remember the number 10 and a flashcard with a turkey on it. It had a yellow background.
The frogs are too loud.
Not a whole lot. I guess I was walking. I was in a stroller in Treetop Park in Florida. My mother accidentally pushed me into a spider web. I freaked out a lot. That's the first thing I remember.
We were sent for.
End of new messages.
Oh, thank God. To Ezra, don't you go diving in too. It's actually really cold and kind of dangerous. Did he say where he was going? He went to get some medicine. Oh, maybe his leg is still bothering him, or an early hangover. I'll have to tell him I have some more painkillers in the truck. So, any important messages? Every single one. Where are you headed tonight, small man? Just following my friends. Is this young woman your friend? We met Ezra earlier tonight, and he's been very helpful. I'm hoping we can return the favor once we get back above ground. Poor kid was sleeping at the bus station and just lost track of his folks. He'll be alright. He's more at home down here than any of us. Trust me, I have an eye for it. Summer. Kate, thanks for calling. Hope I didn't wake you. No, I can't really get comfortable enough to sleep anymore, except in the car. Oh, not driving. In the passenger seat, reclined. Eric drove me around the reservoir this afternoon, and I got an hour or two in. I couldn't get settled in bed, so I was just watching TV. Some cooking show about high-concept junk food, and everyone from my high school chemistry class was there, making cupcakes out of old bicycle parts. I think I might have dozed off a bit, actually. Honestly, this baby can come out whenever he wants. I'm completely over it. Just don't rush it. Just try to get some rest. That's what Eric says. Haha. I guess that'll happen when it happens. I mean, obviously it. Phone line makes a horrible sound. Whoa, God, the phone's down here. Such a mess. Hey, Kate, I really appreciate you checking in. I have your pager number, so does Eric, just in case I'm too distracted or whatever. I'll let you go. I should try to eat or something. Rishi, I hope you're the joint pain. Okay, thanks, man. I'll just chew on some ice. Talk to you soon, Kate, hopefully. Just checking in on a client. Did I mention I'm a birth doula? How does that fit with being a tugboat captain? Some women choose to come labor on the boat, actually. For the rest, I have a backup, just in case I can't get back to dry land in time. I've been lucky and only had to lean on her a handful of times. Out of several hundred births, you'd never believe how many people are just born all the time. Is everything okay? Everything's great. Sounds like she's ready. Some women just know. It's amazing. Others are caught totally by surprise. Your friend went back aboard? His leg is bothering him. Yeah, I thought he seemed a little pained, especially when he moved. Nadia, I'm glad you phoned. I was just thinking of you. Sorry I didn't call this week. I've been traveling constantly. That's fine. I visited the hospital yesterday. I went to visit Uncle Andreas, but they moved him. Now he's in the hospice care facility run by some old Polish nun. Everyone says it's very nice. I asked them about visiting, and they said he didn't want any visitors. He's just being stubborn. Yes, it's typical of Andreas. I was thinking maybe if you came to visit, he would see you. All those afternoons you two would go drinking beers by the river. Don't you think it would mean a lot to him if he could say goodbye to you in person? Oh, Nadia, I'd never make it back in time anyway. It's true, you're a long way from home, Clara. I suppose it can't be helped. Oh, here's Mother. Here's Mother at the door. We're going to try again to see him. I hope the tour is going well. Love you. Be careful. This would make a very odd stage play. My sister back home, she's very depressing to me this morning. My Uncle Andreas is terminally ill and refusing visitors, and Nadia is making a stir about it. Sorry to hear. Are you close? Yes, but only recently. He lived abroad for most of my life. I only met him a few years ago. My sister is older, so she knew him as a child, too. So I think her respect for him is distorted by sentiment. We must always take the dying at their word. Their motivations are beyond our understanding. The old man, he's swimming back to the Mammoth? No emergency, I hope. He's tending to his aching joints. Arthritis? It runs in my family, too. Brandon approaches. Brandon, I don't suppose any of you folks are headed past the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Not on this run, but we'll be coming back this way in a few hours. Well, I may still be here then. It's no big deal, just hang out, read or something until it's time to head back to work. Hey, you folks are traveling with that old guy, right? With the leg? Is he okay? I saw him earlier tonight. He came by the storage facility for some files. He totally bit it on the staircase. He's okay though, right? I think so. I don't know him too well. He's a passenger. Cool. Hey, I guess he's well enough to swim. Well, have a good night, or morning almost. There you go. That right there is Ratliff Monuments if you ever need a headstone carved for a loved one, I mean. Violet Ratliff, never married, nevertheless bore 6 children, Earl, Kelly, Barb, Ron, young Earl, and Beauty. And for each birth she locked the doors of Ratliff Monuments for only one day, even with young Earl when she was in labor for 36 hours. Well, that's what folks said, and I met her, and I believe them. She had the unyielding disposition of a cliffside. None of Violet's children had any desire to go into monument making. Barb was never good with her hands. She ended up reading scripts in a call center, where she only occasionally has to press a button or take down an order. Mostly she talks and listens, which suits her well enough. The run of the shop fell at last to young Earl, the only Ratliff still at home when his mother finally passed at 82, and who then had the honor of engraving her headstone. He's done well for the most part. The shop was damaged in a flood several years ago. The showcase, a mock cemetery out front, was mostly washed away. The stone monument is bobbing violently in the first torrents of the flood. Eventually sank and spread along the Channel Bottom River, an elongated graveyard for no human eyes, visited by eyeless fish and adorned with indifferent wreaths of algae. If a few stray stones ended up at the bottom of Lake Lethe, too, we'll never know. Young Girl is the last of his short line professionally, and there's nobody around qualified to carve his monument, so he's already claimed one of those at the bottom of the river for himself. Ezra taught us a card game. Let's learn a card game. Act 4, Scene 5, the Mucky Mammoth. Clara draws a card. 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. Kate draws a card. 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. To Kate, what are we listening to? Oh, just this tape a friend of mine sent me. They live in the desert. Vesinks? Something like that? Sounds good on the Mammoth PA. Yeah, that's the only way I listen to anything lately. Haha. Your turn, buddy. Ezra draws a card. I forget. I think it's this one. Will draws a card. 9 gray feathers. Stay focused, ha ha ha. No, I've got it. 7 blue petals And 5. Oh no, it was 973 to Ezra. This game is more difficult than it sounds, my friend. You still did pretty good. And we're only, how many cards in now? 5 or something? I assume it will go to 52. It goes until everyone forgets a card. That could go on a long time then. Well, not with this crowd, I guess. Ha ha ha. We're all too soggy-brained. I know I am. I even take homemade supplements for it. Shade-grown lichen. Lichen? Lichen. Boiled with the peel of a lemon, then frozen and crushed with oak leaves. It's a scalp massage oil. You can smell it if I get close. It dries the brain out a bit, which is helpful for a good memory if I can remember to use it often enough in the first place. Oh, don't worry. The soggy brain has its benefits too. If your brain is soft and damp, new ideas can make a clear impression, like a boot in wet sand. But like wet sand, it can easily get muddied and washed away, so there's a trade-off, see. It's a shame we can't have it both ways, isn't it? Clara, what's this game called, Ezra? Forgetting game. Forgetting game. Kate likes to give her passengers the opportunity to make some floating around money, and that lab pays cash in small envelopes upon completion of their little gauntlet of non-invasive tests. It's a project of the university. I think they're studying... I don't remember. Mammoth also collects their trash, mostly shredded paper. Then Kate says once they left half a vending machine on the dock. But nobody seemed too interested in the lab stop that night. They stayed aboard and played a card game. I read a book. Let me tell you about it. It takes place in a castle. It's some historic landmark being maintained by a bunch of college kids and aging social misfits. The main characters work at the gift shop. Their co-workers, Mimi and Jen. Mimi is older than Jen, but they seem to be at the same point in their lives. They like their work. They have a playfully antagonistic relationship with their boss. I actually only read a bit from the middle. The two had cause to reflect on the history of their work together. Something got messed up, a document misplaced or filed under the wrong heading. I wasn't really paying close attention to that part, but the event prompted a long conversation about the procedural history of their work together, and that illustrated a history of their friendship in broad, suggestive strokes. In my life's work, as the Echo River's premier anecdotalist, I've always found that a carefully excerpted moment is more powerful than any epic history. That's my excuse anyway for reading books from the inside out. So I stopped there. My eyelids were getting heavy. We were headed back to the lake, and a chance encounter with the Iron Pariah. I took a nap. About to take a nap right now. Good grief. Hey, just a quick one here. I'm going ashore to do some mushroom hunting. This little island is my favorite spot. And I figured we're already running late. What's one more unscheduled stop? I just need to find Will and get him up here to keep an eye on things, you know. Bet he's asleep. Could you run down and wake him up for me? Bunks are down on the lower level, right next to the map room. Thanks. I know, right? It's the only hope. So I'm just gonna record this dude sleeping. Fascinating. Will wakes up. Well, hello, small man. You caught me in my pre-dawn nap. I try to sleep in little nibbles when I can. It maximizes my time in the threshold states. What? Oh, you know, half asleep, half awake, in between places. Play these old taped lectures during my little nibble naps to absorb the information more easily. It's pretty effective. I wish I could do everything half asleep. Can't say I learned very much just now, though. I may have been too busy dreaming a vivid narcotic fantasia aboard the... Those are always the quickest to dissipate. I'd better tell you about it now before the spell is broken. Will takes a deep breath, focusing on the task of recalling his dream. I was a small, not a child, an animal maybe. Strolled the corridors of a great iron ship, searching for scraps and mice, I think, and crying, always a weak and mournful mew. Other crewmen slumped in odd corners or lay drunk on the deck. The halls smelled of shame, defeat, and rot-gut corn whiskey. They dumped artillery into the water, tore their flags into cloth scraps, and made handkerchiefs to bury their sobbing faces. They drifted on lake, drinking the cold, black water and eating eyeless fish raw when they at last ran out of cooking fuel. They seemed, in their despair, to forget even language. After an interval of years, the ship crossed a threshold into absolute silence. Silence except for my hopeless, whimpering cry. Anyway, that's all I remember. Lately, I never remember my dreams. It's probably for the best. The images of dreams are often wasted on the waking. I've got a stew to start. You may want to hurry back above deck. I believe we're about to pass the bat sanctuary. It's quite a thing to see. Kate came back from her mushroom hunting excursion with a small basket full of oddly colored caps and stems, no doubt delicious to a morsel. Of course, she intended to use many of them in her medical practice to ease the pain, nausea, and anxiety of pregnant women. But I can usually rely on my charms to snare a bite or two. I have no preferences when it comes to mushrooms, by which I mean that I treat them all interchangeably. I prefer not to know their names or qualities before I cook them up and eat them. It's useless, after all. They escape your erudition, as the fella says. That's a good mushroom hunting island, I guess. It's plenty damp, and they got the cypress trees there to grow on. Of course, they're not indigenous, the cypress trees, I mean. Everyone down here seems to agree that they were planted as some kind of a marker or memorial. And most people will tell you they've got a distant relation or acquaintance who helped dig a hole or water a seedling. But nobody remembers what it was all for, and nobody left a plaque or anything. It's a shame. Looks like it must have been a lot of work. Well, at least we have the trees. And the mushrooms. I guess we're gonna make a mushroom stew. The mucky mammoth. We'll add a few of these really big caps with the slimy gills. I wouldn't say slimy, moist. The lady in the video called for it portobello, but I prefer never to know a mushroom by name. So is this a breakfast stew? It will be, but not today. This stew is for tomorrow. It has to simmer all day. Some things are just better done slowly. We've added the anonymous mushrooms, so next I've got this recipe video on pause next door. I used to follow a recipe I learned from Ida herself. The best cook you're gonna meet on this river. Of course, it had a few secret ingredients. She has the good sense to preserve some mystery around her cooking. Better for business. Ida is so shrewd, she swore me not only to secrecy, but to ignorance. I had to promise to forget the recipe just as soon as I'd cooked it. Let me tell you, it's not so easy to forget something on purpose as you may think, my friend. Not so easy. Video, crushed tomatoes, salsa, or even a little ketchup. Here's the thing nobody has to know. Throw in some more of that spice blend we threw together earlier. Stir all that up and crack a beer, baby. You'll be here for a while. What did she just say to do? Will's trying to make his stew right now. Well, his last step he did. He put a couple mushrooms in, then I think he forgot what he was doing for a little while. Maybe I can help him figure it out. I got kind of sucked into this program. Well, and even that wasn't enough to convince her. So I trained rigorously in the art of forgetting, studying for months under a master amnesiac. Finally, I learned to forget so quickly and accurately that I was able to convince Ida to share with me the most obscure secrets of her kitchen. As a demonstration of my trustworthiness, I forgot the names of my own parents, right there in front of her. Every time I wanted to cook this legendary stew, I'd call Ida up on the telephone and ask her for a quick, temporary reminder. Here on the boat, we haven't got a phone line, so I have to seek out culinary wisdom on videotapes of cooking shows. So back to the matter at hand. Next we add some crushed tomatoes. Oh, it's you, I thought. Never mind, hello. I don't have any crushed tomatoes. I have some ketchup. To Shannon, hey there, could I ask you, wait, why are you cooking? We're stopping at Sam and Ida's in 20 minutes. It's for tomorrow. Oh, well, just don't forget about it this time. I'm not scrubbing up any more boiled over sludge. Sorry, listen, I have a favor to ask. There's a package for the telephone exchange, and I can't get the mammoth back there. Could you deliver it for us? That guy I mentioned from the TV station, Dashiell Morse, works there now. Thought you might like to chat with him anyway. Thanks a lot. I got the dinghy all ready to go. Maybe take your friend with you. One of you can man the outboard motor, and the other can aim the flashlight. It's dark. Thanks again for your help. This is about as far as the tugboat can go. You know, noise and lights disturb the bats. So you'll pass through the bat sanctuary, which is really nice, by the way. Be sure to check out all the plaques and stuff for cool bat facts. Plenty of time. Anyway, the Echo River Central Exchange, or excuse me, Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30. They changed the name when the power company took over. Anyway, it's just on the other side of the Bat Sanctuary. This package is going to Poppy. She's an operator. The operator. We'll meet you on the other side at Salmonitis for our scheduled early breakfast stop. Just follow the river. Can't miss it. Oh, I almost forgot. You may or may not be interested. There's this kind of weird memorial sculpture on your way in, just before the Bat Sanctuary. I always recommend people at least stop and take a look at it. It's really sort of, I don't know how to say it. You should check it out. Okay, bye. Sort of controlling this. Sign, we claim these helmets in the names of the folks who wore them, and we place them here in their memory, but also as a spit in the greedy green eye of the power company who brought up our old mine and traded our brothers and sisters' safety for a little more yield, but only yielded 28 good men and women dead with the walls collapsed and the tunnels filled with water. Their lungs were black, but now they washed clean and full of water too, swept through hidden tunnels into some awful cave we never will find. And so we guess the water buried them for us, so let this here be the marker for their grave. And if any son of a bitch from that power company wants to take back these helmets as company property, just you try it and see what will happen. Conway, hey, Elkhorn, that's the mine we went in, where your folks worked. Looks like it's been here a while. I sure as hell wouldn't mess with it. You think whoever wrote it is still that angry? I don't think you ever forget anger like that. No, I guess you probably don't. This probably stirs up, how do you... It's fine, I'm glad this is here. People should remember this happened. The main gameplay mechanic of this game? Clicking. Single left click. There's a skeleton dude in a boat. I'm not comfortable with this. Alright. What? We're looking at... What? You're looking at me like I'm crazy, huh? Are you feeling okay? Oh, sure, it doesn't hurt anymore, my leg. It's just kind of numb. Like it's not there. My shoulder, too. Actually, that's an old one, though, from an accident. I'm lucky I just had some nerve damage there. It probably should have been a lot worse. You know, those guys from the distillery are just making the best of a bad situation, just like the rest of us. Hey, one of them said to me earlier they could even help me take care of these medical bills for my leg, you know. Get it all together on a plan. Consolidated. No, straight up, when did you talk to them about that? Oh, they're around. They're pretty much everywhere you look on this river. You really haven't noticed? Anyway, I have a feeling it'll all work out. Even this delivery? Yeah, we're almost there, right? Hell, at this point, I bet we could just take off the parking brake and that truck would roll into 5 Dogwood Drive by itself. Listen, that old truck I've been driving belonged to my boss, Ira, Lisette's husband, to be honest. Ira didn't like me very much, but somehow Liz got it into her mind that he would have wanted me to have that truck someday. Maybe to make up for all the yelling he did, or maybe so his ghost could hold it over me, just one more thing to feel like I've owed him. Anyway, they got their own trucks at the distillery, and now that the antique shop is closing up, I've got no use for that old truck. I was thinking you could take it. Sure, I could keep an eye on it for you until you get straightened out. Sure, okay, sounds good. Visitors to the Echo River long-legged red bat artificial hibernaculum and sanctuary are asked to take extra precautions in order to prevent the introduction of foreign fungal contaminants and the spread of white nose syndrome. Please do not visit the sanctuary during the same day in which you visited any cave known or suspected to host bats infected with white nose syndrome. Please do not leave your vehicle. If you must leave your vehicle, please remove shoes, clothes, jewelry, headwear, and eyeglasses to ensure you do not bring any foreign spores ashore with you. Please do not touch any bats or structures. Long-legged red bat is confused by light. If you are using a lantern or other artificial light source, be aware that it may attract and confuse bats. If you are approached by bats, do not panic. Relax, stop your vehicle, and switch off your light. Never touch a bat. Bat fact. Ever talk with your mouth full? Bats do it all the time. Bats talk in extremely high frequency clicks, too high for humans to hear. Then they use their powerful ears to scan for the echoes of these ultrasonic clicks by comparing very subtle differences in the time these echoes take to come back. Differences of just millions of a second. Bats are able to picture their environment with enough accuracy to catch a flying insect. Once a bat has caught an insect in its mouth, it's still flying, and so it still needs to avoid running into anything. So bats keep clicking away, even while they munch on a tasty bug snack. It may be poor table manners, but it's crucial for survival in the dark. I wonder how the other bats know whether one of them is really talking or just chasing a bug. Sometimes it's hard to know with people too. Oh yeah, like, how about this weather? I guess there are layers to it, right? Sometimes you just need to get the other person talking so you can check their body language, or hear what their voice sounds like. Find out if they're friendly or angry, or drunk, haha. Skeleton guys. Long-legged red bats' natural diet mostly consists of moths and other small insects that breed along the river. Here at the artificial hibernaculum and sanctuary, we use a combination of chemical snares and ultrasonic wards to repel all potentially contaminated-bearing insects and replace them with our own locally bred and spawned hypoallergenic antiseptic pseudomoths, which we call the little gray nothing moth. You may be thinking that the other moths and insects the long-legged red bat would have been eating are very much relieved that their natural predator has found another food source. Not so. We've installed netting and highly effective moth traps along the river, where the long-legged red bat normally hunts to balance their escape from the food chain. By eating moths isn't the only systemic contribution these bats make. They also produce a potent fertilizer in the form of guano that helps plant life thrive along the Echo River, the shore of Lake Lethe. In order to minimize the sanctuary's impact on subterranean agriculture, we collect that precious guano here at the hibernaculum and manually distribute throughout the caves. It's a full-time job. Sounds like a lot of work. It's all fake except for the bats. Yeah, I guess so. Reminds me of the guy Donald and his crew down there with the computer. Right. It is reassuring to know someone's taking care of everything for these little bats. Yeah, who's gonna build the people hibernaculum? Maybe we'll build it ourselves. Maybe we already did. Like the folks in the mine, you said they used to buy stuff, fans, canaries, all those little trinkets to make it bearable. There's still a lot of stuff down there. Feels cluttered but human. I just mean, all people need is enough to pretend we're home, and we can make it anywhere. You get kind of philosophical when you're drinking. Did anyone tell you that? Yeah, I guess I do. Nah, this is nothing. I used to have this drinking buddy who would get loaded and tell the weirdest damn riddles, like, which is more musical, a truck passing by a factory or a truck passing by a music school? Ha, count your blessings. The bats are kind of swarming. Like, what is this tree? Sign. White nose syndrome is still largely a mystery. We suspect that the white fungal growth which appears another skeleton boat on bats' face and wings irritates and confuses them, causing them to awaken early from hibernation, venture outside, depleting stored energy they need to survive through the winter. But biologists are nowhere near curing the disease. It spreads quickly. It is highly fatal. In this way, white nose syndrome has drawn some comparisons to colony collapse disorder, a separate type of disease. White nose syndrome and colony collapse disorder are sudden, violent, and mysterious. Will honeybees and the long-legged red bat be two more lost species wiped out in the geological blink and forgotten to natural history? It's possible that a cure won't be identified in time, so the sanctity of this artificial hibernaculum is the best hope of preserving them. As you leave the Echo River long-legged red bat hibernaculum and sanctuary, please make sure your vehicle and clothing are free of hitchhikers. Make it? I don't know. Maybe we finally made it. Oh, we're in like a tunnel. There's like people here. Weird. This game's weird, man. Conway, careful up there. Can't drive your new truck if you slip and break your legs. You two try not to make any more bad deals while I'm gone. Haha, I'll just be floating along down here. I just mean keep your eyes open and don't look back. Flora, oh hi, I remember you. What are you doing down here? I'm just exploring. I like dark underground places. I'm a romantic. Really? What does that mean to you? Means I like poems and rivers and mysteries. Okay, bye. There's Dashiell. Softly could be bypassed with another capacitor at 100 nanofarads to reduce noise. You Dashiell Morse? I mean, me? Yes, I'm him. Sorry, I've been hacking on this thing all night. My thoughts are starting to come in alternating currents. We don't install this type of phone for customers anymore, but there are quite a few of them still in circulation. Anyway, the new system doesn't source enough current to ring these old bells, so I'm trying to come up with a workaround, maybe a little box the customer could attach right before the wall jack. So you do still work here on the tugboat. They weren't totally sure. Oh, well, yeah, I'm here just about every night. Is this your first time down here? Yeah, I can tell. Your eyes can't quite adjust to the light. It takes some practice. Believe it or not, I've been coming here since I was a kid. For one reason or another, back then this place was a train station. It's true. They had bats then too, but they were considered a nuisance. Train station, what happened to it? Well, the river shifted and this place slowly filled with water, carrying the trains away with the current. It does that, the river, and I don't begrudge it. It's a good reminder that everything we have is borrowed, even trains. Eventually, someone at the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces heard this place was still empty, so they moved the phone company in here. I returned here as a young lineman, a skill I picked up in the wartime, running telephone wires between enemy lines. We used trees instead of poles. I miss that, actually. They were easier to climb. It's just as well. I'm in no shape to be climbing anything these days. The closest I get is patching up the wiring in the crystal room for the WEVB folks. The crystal room? Yep, WVP is actually a cable signal. Not a lot of people down here know all the mechanics of it. But here goes. It's supposed to be community television, you know, local, by and for all denizens of the Elk River, but most of us down here spend most of our time on boats, and you can't plug a cable into a boat. So years back, they set up a broadcast relay. They run a wire down to the crystal room, and then it gets beamed out around the river. The rock formations there have a nice resonant quality that naturally amplifies the signal quite a bit, as long as you keep them clean. Listen, miss, if you're interested in WVP, you should go talk to them directly. They're always looking for volunteers. Take the ferry over to the silo. There's a mail stop there. They don't have a sign or anything. Just ask around. I guess I'll get back to this damn old ringer. Poppy's just a little further down if you're dropping off that package. Nice chatting with you. There's Poppy. Just set it right there by the lamp, sweetie, thanks. Actually, just a minute. What does the parcel claim to be from? Consolidated Power Company. Oh dear, I'm afraid to open it. So, who are you? Do you work for the post office or the tugboat? I only ask because I haven't seen you before. Was that you I heard chatting down the hall? Yeah, I just met Dashiell. He's been working on that obsolete ringer, hasn't he? Poor Dashiell. You know, he was let go a while back. A long while, actually. When they started restructuring, he was one of the first to go. But he talked them into letting him come every day and fiddle with some interminable project. He says it's to keep a long gap from growing his resume. But I think he just has nothing better to do. One of those old men who needs to work, you know, doesn't know how to be any other way. Well, guess there are no real jobs here, but there are fake jobs, I guess. It wasn't always like this. When I came to work at the Echo River Central Exchange, there were 12 of us. Loretta, Edna, Meg, Cara, Mary, Louise, Liz, Hester, Angie, Wilma, Connie. I was number 12. Connie and I were hired on the same day, but she showed up early. Marie finished college and Hester was fired for snapping at a rude caller. But he had it coming, and I hear she did just fine on her own. So they hired Beryl, Jana, and Sachiko, which brought us up to 13, and that was as many operators as we ever had here at one time. The power company came along, buying up all the lines, and one day they took the exchange as a throw-in, like it was nothing. Nothing! They started phasing us out. Edna, Meg, Kara, and Lewis left one Friday evening, and were asked not to come back on Monday morning. Beryl saw the writing on the wall and quickly found employment at a private PBX. They had Jana and Liz stop routing calls and write up some kind of best practices document instead. It was their final task as exchange employees. Some of the girls were reassigned to other divisions. Connie, I think, was checking residential meters. Sachiko and Wilma were moved into energy sales, cold calling businesses to see if they needed to upgrade their electricity plan. At least they were still on the phone. Then it was just Loretta, Angie, and me. We were swamped. The hours were hell and hard on the throat. The voice with a smile became a croak. I was gargling warm salt water in the stodders in the break room, sipping from a thermos full of hot honey broth stashed under my chair. Oh, I brought a lot of extended technique to the switchboard in those days. Sounded pretty good to me. Yeah, I'm impressed. So where was I? Extended switchboard technique. It was all about timing your breath. Some girls got lightheaded doing too many calls in a row with that upbeat dynamic inflection they made us use to keep everything intelligible. It was very physical. So after a few months, it was just me. A new automation strategy was announced, and this place was rechristened Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30. If it's automated, what do you do here? It's not fully automated. There are still gaps in functionality that need a human touch. And you know, it really is all about touch here. Sound is a vibration, a touch you feel in your ears. So my voice is my touch when we're talking. We're touching, even on the phone. That's an electric touch, an intimate little shock that makes your tiny hairs tremble. But that's not even what I mean when I say it's all about touch here. When the power company first tried automating this old exchange with fancy new transistor arrays, the switchboard caught fire. It was just too much, too fast, so they tried using some clunky old mechanical relays, but then the calls were getting mismatched and out of sync. It was a nightmare. Their technicians determined that the phone system down here had been designed ad hoc over decades around the specific tempo of its human operators, so short of replacing the whole thing, not to mention all the wiring, they'd have to work out the exact timing of every little human gesture that goes into routing a phone call. And that, officially, is my role here. I run the switchboard for the whole exchange. Once the work of 12, I'd like to remind you, they have some kind of machine somewhere that tracks how long it takes me to do each little thing. The caller never hears my voice now. They dial, my little indicator lights the switch on, and I make the connection. Do you miss talking to the callers? You know, there's something that bothers me about the process besides the fact that I'm training my replacement, who isn't even human. Boy, here's what I mean. How long do you think it should take to time my every move and recreate that timing in an automated switchboard? Rough estimate. Maybe a week? That's what I said. But this has been going on for over a year, and a very dark thought has started to nag at me. What if there is no cheap machine that's going on to replace me? What if it's cheaper to just keep me here, filling in for the rhythm of the operators? What if I'm the cheap machine? Why don't you just quit? In this economy? No, you're probably right. Working in silence for peanut shells, waiting to be replaced by a robot. It doesn't sound very dignified, does it? The reality is that I've been working here for my whole adult life. I came here as a girl, and I'll leave as a middle-aged woman. I don't know if I'm ready to be her yet. I sound like Dashiell, haha. Oh, the parcel, right, over here. Over there by the lamp is fine. Thanks for dropping that off. Take care. Think of me when you dial 0. Straight up legit, this is one of these guys at Conway. Alright, so here's the thing, y'all. It's really late. I'm gonna break up episode 4 into 2 parts. Yeah, I don't even know how this works. Last saved a minute ago. So hopefully we'll resume right back where we were here. Hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. I think that's just what we're going to have to do because I'm extremely tired. So thank you for joining us here on the Game Bytes Show, where we brought you a little bit of Destiny 2 and then a lot of Kentucky Route Zero Chapter 4. We will continue and finish Chapter 4. Yes, for more ad money is why we're breaking this up. No, it's after midnight, and I'm very tired, and I have to get up in a few hours. Yeah, I still don't know what this game's about. I really, really don't. But it's fine. We're going to finish it. As much of it that is out. Episode 5 is still not released, but that's probably okay. It's probably for the best that way. But thank you again for joining us here on twitch.tv/GameByteShow. You're going to want to subscribe and get those notifications whenever we go live, because sometimes we go live early, sometimes we record, we stream other games. Legrand has been jumping on. You know what? Last week, for our Games We've Been Playing podcast, we brought it to you live. So you don't want to miss those fun, uncut episodes. A little peek behind the curtain, if you will. So definitely subscribe. Find our archives over at youtube.com/GameByteShow. There's a lot of really great stuff over there. There's a lot of garbage over there, but you'll have to watch it all to really determine which is which. So I encourage you to go do that. GameByteShow.com, you can find our twice-a-week audio podcast, which I mentioned just a second ago, where we talk about news, new releases, topics, video games we've been playing, etc., and so forth. So definitely go subscribe. Join us on Discord. Talk to the community. Find us at Twitter, at GameByteShow. You can find myself at red_I. You can find Jeremy at Jeremy_Lamont. Dale is at Count Elmdor, and Legrand is at Legrand. Go do all those things. It'll take you about an hour, but we have faith in you. Good luck, and we'll see you next week.